today I want to open up to you guys. I want to be personal. I want to get deep. Ooh, that's a hot question. So, okay, that is spicy. How was it your first time? Did it hurt? Honey. OnlyFans. Sis, no. When are you guys having a baby? We're planning to have a baby. My type, baby, my type. Baby girl, don't leave my side. What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Anna and my husband is Anthony, and it's actually not going to be in today's video, which is a little weird because we're always filming together. But today I want to open up to you guys. I want to be personal. I want to get deep. I want to be that big sister, cousin, mom. Whoa, not mom. But you know what I mean, like that role model. I want to be able to really open up with y'all and just have a conversation with you guys. On Instagram, I asked you guys to ask me any personal girl questions you guys wanted to know about or needed help with. So today we're going to be doing that. If you want to be a part of these in the future, make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram, Anna, which is our couples page, and also AnnaMariaJones.x, which is my personal. There I sometimes will be asking y'all to ask me questions, so y'all don't want to miss out on that. Go follow me so you guys don't miss out on that. But anyways, we're gonna jump right into it. I haven't even prepped my face yet, so I'm going to be doing that right now. But let's start with the first question. Do you have any insecurities and how do you deal with it? So, as a girl, I feel like all girls have insecurities, and if you don't, at one point in life you did. And right now, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really have too much insecurities right now that I'm an adult, but growing up as a teenager, I had a lot of insecurities. One of my biggest insecurities was like this bump right here that I have on my nose. So to make a long story short, when I was little, I was in the swimming pool and I was swimming, and then I hit the bottom of the pool with my nose, and my nose broke. So I grew up feeling very insecure about that bump right here, and I always told myself when I was like 18, 19, I was gonna get surgery and I was gonna like fix the bump. But then I started realizing imperfections are beautiful and imperfections really make you different, you know? And I started loving and embracing my imperfections versus, you know, putting myself down and being insecure like I used to before. Yeah, I'm not insecure about the bump anymore, and I will never change it or try to fix it because I love my imperfections. So then I started to embrace my imperfections, and I feel like when you start growing older, you start to realize, you know, it could either get better or it could get worse. But I feel like everything is right here in your mind. Like, mindset is so important, and you guys probably hear that a lot, but mindset is very, very important. Your thoughts are so powerful, and the way you think will really determine how you feel. So one thing that I recommend is waking up in the mornings. You know, wake up, girl, wake up and just go to the mirror and tell yourself 3 positive things, like, ooh, your hair looks good, or girl, you have a beautiful smile, or ooh, your eyes are pretty, or ooh, your boobs look good today. You know, just talk to yourself in a positive way, because I feel like that's so important. Like, talking to yourself in a positive way really helps. Like, love yourself. I'm really big on that. If you don't love yourself, how can you love other people? So you have to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself or you feel very insecure, I am rooting for you. You're going to begin to love yourself. You're going to begin to accept your imperfections and embrace them versus putting yourself down, because how boring would it be to just live in a world of perfection, you know? I know for us girls, being insecure has a lot to do with social media and TV and how we see other people because they look so perfect, but in reality, no one is perfect. You know, of course, makeup makes a difference. A lot of these famous people and perfect people pay millions of dollars to, you know, have plastic surgery, have BBLs, and that's the world we live in, unfortunately. So don't try to compare yourself with other people. Just embrace your imperfections, just like me. Like, I was very insecure about this little bump, but I realized that if I change this bump and I fix it, I won't be me no more. You know, sometimes imperfections are what makes you. So just embrace your imperfections, wake up in the morning, be positive with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, you know? Don't, you know, I know sometimes us girls, we can be so tough on ourselves, like, oh man, I don't like my body, I don't like my face, I don't like my hair, I'm not pretty enough, this and that. Like, no, don't be hard on yourself. You're beautiful. God made you beautiful. You're unique. Nobody can be you and nobody is like you, and that is your gift. So go out there and embrace it and don't be insecure. And again, if you are feeling insecure, it's okay. It's okay to feel insecure. You're not crazy for feeling insecure. It's a very normal feeling, and it's okay to admit it and to realize you're insecure, but just start trying to do little things to fix it, like talking to yourself positively, be kind to yourself, you know, go work out, do something you love, you know, and I promise they'll get better. But again, I'm rooting for you and I love you and you're beautiful, and don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Whoever is probably telling you otherwise, even if they're thoughts in your head, just, you know, whenever you get a thought of insecurity in your head, like, oh, you're not good enough or you're not this enough, because let me tell you, even celebrities feel insecure. Everybody feels insecure at one point in their life, but it's your choice to entertain those thoughts or to stop those thoughts, because the moment you entertain those thoughts, it's just gonna be back to back to back to back to back to back. But if you stop those thoughts right away and you're like, no, I am good enough, I am pretty enough, you know, you start thinking differently, you start talking differently, that's when you'll see a change. And I know I kind of went long on there, so I'm sorry. I get really passionate about, you know, not feeling insecure or, you know, doubting yourself, because I've been there. But that's what I'm telling you, like, don't be so hard on yourself, be kind to yourself and compliment yourself. But anyways, let's move on. I think my moisturizer already absorbed. Now I'm gonna put my primer. Do you ever compare yourself with other people? Example, your weight, because I compare myself. Okay, so yes, I mean, again, this is very similar to the first question. Growing up, I did compare myself with other people, and I feel like a lot had to do with social media and what we saw, you know, on magazines and stuff, like, oh my gosh, like, look at them, like, they're so beautiful, their life, da da da. But I stopped those thoughts and I didn't entertain those thoughts anymore. And now I don't compare myself. Like, now I love myself for who I am. I know I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect, but I embrace my imperfections and I love myself. And I know I could always better myself, but I'm not gonna compare myself with someone else, you know? Like, I might be like, oh wow, like, her body is nice. Like, that's goals right there. Like, I want my body. Like, that's goals right there. I'm gonna work out and, you know, try to get fit. You know, sometimes you get inspirations like from other girls and you see pictures and you're like, oh wow, like, you know, like even her hair, like let's say for example, like hair, like, oh my gosh, your hair is so pretty, that would be cute. You know, you get inspirations. That's different than comparing yourself like, oh my gosh, like her body, like, why can't that be my body? Like, why can't I look like that? When you start comparing yourself in that way, that's when it's bad, because you don't want to compare yourself that way. You have to know that everyone is unique, everyone is different, we're all beautiful in our own way, and you just have to embrace yourself and stop comparing yourself with other people, because that is toxic and you don't want to compare yourself. Again, God made you beautiful and God made you unique just the way you are, and don't compare yourself. You know, if you feel like, you know, you're comparing your weight to other girls, then just tell yourself like, what can I do to feel good about myself? Because it's true, like sometimes, you know, we want to live a healthier lifestyle, we want to be healthier, we want to look better, and that is okay. You know, we can exercise, we can drink more water, we can get on a better diet, you know, and when I say diet, I mean like eating healthier. Like, there's different things you can do to achieve a goal you have. But again, you know, don't compare yourself with other people. I used to do it before, now I don't. Now I learned that, you know, I'm me, I'm Anna, nobody can be me. So I embrace that. And just like you're watching me, nobody can be you. I promise you, nobody can be you, and that is your superpower, and that is what makes you powerful. So embrace that, and I'm rooting for you. If you're feeling down, like you're comparing yourself, I'm here and I'm telling you to not compare yourself, to stop it, get out your head, and you're awesome and you're meant for greatness, and I love you. But anyways, okay, how many kids do you want? Ooh, that's a hot question. So if you know me, you know I love babies, and I'm currently waiting for my first child. I don't have my first child yet, but praying that it'll come whenever God wants it to come soon. But I want 5, and I know that may seem like a big number for a lot of you guys. For me, it's not, but yeah, I want like 5 kids. What does it take for a long-lasting relationship? Okay, so I feel like a long-lasting relationship is not only one person. I feel like it takes 2 people to make a long-lasting relationship. And one of my tips would have to be, you know, communication and compromising, because in a relationship, you're not always gonna agree with that person. You have to understand that you're 2 different people. So you're gonna like some things and the other person's not gonna like it, or you're gonna think some ways, the other person might not, and that is okay. But you have to compromise. Like, for example, sometimes I want to go to the mall, you know, to, I don't know, just walk around, and Aunt might want to watch a movie, and I'm like, no, let's go to the mall, and he's like, no, I want to watch a movie, and it's like, you know, but I compromise, and I'm like, all right, you know, babe, let's watch a movie today, you know. So sometimes you just have to be very understanding and compromise with the person, and also communication. If you don't like something, don't bottle it up and don't, you know, keep it to yourself, because I feel like that is a big mistake a lot of people people make. They might see something they don't like and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't want to offend no one. No, like, you know, you can be nice about it. You don't have to be rude about it and be like, oh, I don't like that, like start conflict. But you can, like, you should just be like, listen, we need to talk. I don't like this and that, and I'm being honest with you. And like, you know, you just come straight forward. So I feel like communication and compromising are two big things for a long lasting relationship. Personally, in my case, one big thing that has helped me and Aunt is that we're also very spiritual. So we always put God in our marriage. We put God in the center of our marriage. We pray together, and I feel like that helps a lot too. So just find something that you guys both love doing together, and you know, something to strengthen your relationship, you know, like do things together. A relationship is much more than just sex, kisses, and like, you know, cuddling and whatever, the cute stuff. You know, it's about understanding, being there for one another, compromising, helping each other out. Like when one person falls, you pick them up. So that's what I would say. So yep. Okay, next one is tampons or pads. Okay, interesting. I did get a lot of like period questions, but that one's the first one, and I would have to say tampons now. Like pads, I used to use pads growing up because my mom was so, you know, my mom is a very strict mom. Like growing up, she was against tampons because she was like, oh, you're a virgin, like you shouldn't be using tampons are not good for you, they can stay stuck and they can whatever. She would just name every bad thing that could happen with using a tampon. So I just kind of always used pads, and then I also always had a heavy period. But once I was already like in high school, college, like when I was already older, I started using tampons and I couldn't go back. I love tampons. I can't do really pads anymore. Pads feel uncomfortable, especially I live in Florida, so it gets really hot out here and like you start sweating and then you're bleeding. At the same time, it just doesn't feel comfortable at all. So I use tampons, and I actually use the organic kind. When did you start your period? I told you there was a lot of period questions. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a story, a little story time of when I started my period. So funny story, I know a lot of girls get their periods when they're like 14, 15, you know, like high school. Well, I actually got my period when I was 10. Yes, 10 years old. I was in elementary when I got my period. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was so young. I don't know why I got it so young, but I did. I got it very, very young. And luckily I was at home, so I didn't, you know, I wasn't at school because I probably would have freaked out, you know, I was so young. But I was at home, and then my mom had already talked to me about periods and stuff. Like she was like preparing me, and I just went to pee one day. I think it was after school, you know, I was like, I ate, I did my homework, and then I went to pee and I saw like blood, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I was like, Mom, like I'm bleeding. And I guess I was making a big deal about it because I was like kind of scared. I was like, why am I bleeding, you know? But you know, of course my mom was like, no, that's normal, like you just got your period and stuff. So she gave me a tampon, and yeah, so that's how I got it. I was very, very, very young. Hopefully my future daughters, if I have daughters, which I hope I will, but hopefully my future daughters won't get it as young. I mean, I think it's like genetics because my grandmother also got it when she was very young, and so did my mom, so it sucked. But next one is, how do you deal with period cramps? Ooh, so that's a good question, because growing up, y'all, like I used to have horrible period cramps. I don't really get them as bad anymore, but it was to the point where I would not be able to do anything that whole day, that first day, and I would just stay in bed. But what really helped me was drinking hot teas. So every time I would get period cramps, I would like tell my mom or my grandma, and like they would make me a hot tea, and I would drink that, and it'll make me feel a lot better. And then also what really helped me was a Midol. Midol is kind of like Tylenol or Advil, but it's pretty much like a pain pill that you drink. It's a over the counter, so you could find it like in Walgreens or like any drugstore. But yeah, Midol really saved my life too. Like I'm telling you, like my period cramps were no joke. And then now I use a lot of heating pads. So when I get my period, usually I only get cramps like the first day. After that, I'm fine. But I use heating pad. Heating pad helps a lot. Just anything hot, honestly, like teas, hot teas. I've heard that taking cold showers when you have your period is not really good. So try to just, if you like cold water, which I don't know who does, but me, I don't like taking like super cold showers, which I know they're good for you. But in this case, when you have your period, I heard that taking cold showers is not really good. So just try to take like warm showers or hot showers, and you know, just try to relax. Now, if they're really, really bad, because again, I know I had a little cousin that she used to get them really, really bad to the point where she couldn't take them no more, and she had to go to the doctor, and the doctor prescribed her birth control pills. So if they hurt really bad and to the point where you feel like you can't take it, I do recommend going to a doctor, like a professional, and getting, you know, checked and kind of seeing what they have to do, because I feel like everyone is so different. Like all girls are so different, all vaginas are so different, and that's just the truth. So sometimes like what works for me might not work for you, what works for you might not work for someone else. So if it hurts that bad, just go to the doctor and they'll let you know what's best for your body. So yeah, anyways, okay, I don't while having sex, just orgasm. Is that normal? Oh, TMI. That's a spicy question. Honestly, I thought it was the other way around. I thought most girls didn't orgasm, because I heard that most girls don't have an orgasm while having sex, and it doesn't mean that they're not having good sex or they're not being satisfied. It's just they don't have an orgasm. And I was about to say, girl, that's normal. But in this case, it's actually the opposite. It's actually, you know, not. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure. You know, that's a good question. I do and I do orgasm, thankfully. But I mean, I know if you don't orgasm, that's fine. Now if you don't, I believe that's fine too, honestly. I just feel like you just have to find what works for you. Again, everyone is so different, and if you don't like, you know, just talk to your husband, your partner, and just kind of open up with them and be like, listen, I'm not, and try to find ways and things you can do to, you know. But I don't think you should be like super concerned or like, oh, I have a problem, or no, girl, because at least you're orgasming. A lot of girls don't orgasm, so you by orgasming, that is already a good thing. So yeah. What do you look in for a man? Any advice for girls to choose their partners? For me, I tend to see how men act with their mothers, because that gives me an example of how they treat, you know, women. You know, if a man doesn't treat their mom good, that's a really big flag right there, because it's like, oh, you don't even like your mom. I don't care what she's done. I don't care what she did to you. I don't care what argument y'all got into. I don't care what happened. At the end of the day, that is your mother. That is a person that brought you into the world. And if you're talking crap about them, then how can you love me, your future, you know, your girl, your future wife? That's one thing that really made me fall in love with Anthony. You know, the way he treats his mom and the way he loves his mom, it's like, wow, you know, that really was like, wow, like he really loves his mom. He really treats his mom well. You know, I know he's going to love me too, you know? And of course, no one's perfect. You know, people have like differences and people don't always agree with everything, but at the end of the day, you have to respect. So that right there, I would say, like, I know it sounds like, oh, well, maybe you never thought about that, but I'm telling you, that makes a big difference. So kind of just look out on how the guy you like or the man you like or whoever treats their mother. That says a lot. But what else do you look in for a man? Honestly, of course, I have to be physically attracted to that person, you know, to the man. But me growing up now, I'm starting to realize that looks are not everything. You know, of course you want to be attracted to your partner, because I feel like that's like super important. But what's the point of having like a super hot boyfriend, hot husband, and for guys, hot wife, hot girl, and they're a bad person? Like, I'm not saying bad person, but a person that's not going to treat you well, a person that's not gonna love you, you know? There's been a lot of cases where I have friends and I know people that start dating the hottest person in the room, but they treat them so bad. So it's like, do you really want to be with someone that treats you horribly? Like, no, you know? So I would say, yes, I have to be attracted to your looks, but that's not all I look in a man. I look to see if they love their mother, if they love God, because a godly man is also going to love you and respect you, etc., etc. I see if, you know, they're kind, they're honest, because being honest is like a big thing for me. A good communicator. If you're not really a great communicator, it's fine, because when I first met Ant, he was one of those that really didn't really talk a lot or didn't say much, but I knew he was an amazing person inside, you know? So I had a lot of patience, and, you know, I stood there and I kind of helped him open up, because it was very hard for him to open up, you know? He had a tough childhood and stuff, so sometimes you help that person like open up, or like, you know, with time they open up. There's honestly so many good qualities you want to find in a man, but I feel like the most important ones are integrity. You know, and integrity, it's like they're honest, they're kind, they're gentlemen, they love you. Also, like, share the same values as you. You know, if you grew up and you have certain values, like don't just lose those values over a man. You know, you want to find like a guy that has those same values as you as well, you know, and someone that's going to uplift you and love you for who you are. Because at the end of the day, if you feel like you have to be different or change or just be some type of way for a certain guy, then that person doesn't truly love you. You can act for a little bit, but eventually your true self is gonna come out and you're gonna be, you know, it's you. So if they don't love you for who you are, then don't even waste your time, sis. Like, just keep it going. So I would just say respectful, integrity, how they treat their mom, loves God, and just a good man, like a kind man, respectful. And I can keep going and going and going, but those are just some that I look in for a man. And it's not that I'm looking, because obviously I'm married, but I'm kind of, you know, stepping out and trying to see myself like, okay, what if I wasn't married? What would I look into? Those are some of the things. Favorite sex position. Ooh, okay, that is spicy.